will show some passwords, right?
Don't
Maybe.
worry, this will be only with me. I'm
Okay.
not going.
Okay. Cool.
Morning, guys.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Yeah, we just started with the survey itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, my temp sense delivery, I did one for Vodafone Fiji,
Okay.
and I didn't see the system until I went to the site. So I saw the system for the first time. I'm just playing blind with the system. I got it up and running, and then I find out the hardware version is not supported with the device.
Oh
Then
no.
I was troubleshooting for like 4 days, why it's not working, why it's not working. And then when I reached to supply, they said maybe the phone is not supported.
Oh
And
no.
then yeah, and after like 3 months, R&D sent the new hardware devices to the customer, and then everything was fine. But I did that like remotely after I got back.
Oh no, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
Most
So
of our deliveries are like that. Sorry.
okay. So it's like to be honest, it's like I started with the handover document because first of all, it's about how the environment for 3UK is organized, right? So it's like, yeah, what I mentioned, there is a fleet and TDAP as a separate server. We have credentials for them. Then we have a FTP server, yeah, where we log the file. So it's like in FTP if I bring it up. So it's like we connect to the one here, port, maybe we can update it. Port is 2021 now. And then it's like we have, for example, the root folder, we have automated, and then IMEIs of the phones that are running tests at the moment. And then they upload temporary files. Then TDAP is picking them from everything from automated, right?
So
We
the
have some
TDAP is you seeing the shared folder for this?
it is as FTP. I will show you in the TDAP.
Mhm.
And then it's like the lab is if you need to test something, reports is for the software manager for versions to upgrade the sense over the air, and shared is maybe I was sharing with someone something, but it's like we can delete that. We don't need it. Important is automated and repos. Everything else it's like you can create or remove it. Okay, going to TDAP. TDAP server is fetching it from whatever server, FTP IP, and the folder automated, right? And then it's having at the moment 6 processes, standard stuff, data management for the last 3 months data, the measurement data, the raw. You can maybe specify summary data as well. Uh, it's okay. And we have one customization in terms of the TDAP log file. What was the name of that one? Log file router, right? So it's log file router config. We used to have more, and here the only customization is for the sync point events. Have a new custom table, a new table based on this setup, which is used to extract the information from sync points that were done in the script. At some point, we had a lot more in terms of log files, and I think we had them stored. I think we had them somewhere. Somewhere. Is it here? No. They're supposed to be here. Desktop. No. Yeah, I don't see them. It's like I believe they're still in the lab server, Adam, maybe.
In the lab server.
the lab server, if you check my documents folder, maybe you will see some XML file as the one that we played with. Okay, yeah. So this is a fleet server and TDAP, right? Fleet is running.
Mhm.
Sorry, fleet is running, and then it's like we connect to the second server, which is 105 at the end, right? And it's like the password. Important is because it's a split server environment, both these servers to have same admin password. Otherwise, because they are not in the domain, right? Otherwise, it's like if you are upgrading fleet, it will fail. At least this used to be the case. It's like fleet needs direct access, admin access between the backend and the front end server. So yeah, what I was saying at some point is like we have in TDAP we configure the database to be, let's say, 3UK underscore TDAP 502, let's say 502, right? The idea is like we treat that database as a raw database, right? This is the raw database where TDAP loads all the information. And because over the years we had multiple 3UK projects like retail store, 5G engineering right now, extending the engineering units, etc., we decided to have another one which is called measured database, which stores only summary tables, right?
Mhm.
Which exports and stores summary tables. So for example, we have a voice whatever results, and then we have a voice view, 3UK voice view, which is a union on last three, for example, right? So it's like they definitely don't need results from 2-3 years ago, but it's good to have it, right? It's like this database as such is 20 gigs, so it's not much, right? So it's not a problem to, what is it, 25 gigs. Yeah, so it's like that database is like we just keep it as it is. We are using it for Tableau reports and we are using it for Grafana reports, but it's like the raw database is this one where TDAP is actually loading the data. So you can see here, this is the name of the database.
Okay.
All right. Then we
And
have
that's the
the
same database that's been used by the Tableau.
that the Tableau is using 3UK POC underscore measure DB. Tableau is
Oh.
not using the TDAP whatever number version. It's using the 3UK POC measure DB because this stays the same. It's like in the past, it's like I was recreating every 2 or 3 months the database because with all the customization, it was growing really fast. And it's like deleting 600 gigs of data in the SQL, it's quite slow. It's better to recreate, migrate the ETL procedures, and then delete the old database and move on. So it's like in terms of export, we have one job, which is which is this one, 502 export to measure DB, right? So this job is having 5 steps or 7 steps. We export some customization API, some data, but we are not using it anymore in the reports. And then we export actual data, actual voice, actual SMS streaming, and ping results, right? So it's
So
like
this,
all
so
this,
yeah,
all this is exporting from this database
to the upper one.
into this one, right? So it's
But
like
why you're doing that? Any reason why you're doing that?
yeah, because it's easier if something goes wrong. It's easier to have your KPI database separate,
Okay. Okay.
right? So it's like, yeah, it's like one of the reasons that we start doing it because it's like we are doing a lot of customization, and the standard TDAP database was growing like 6, 7, 800 gigabytes for 2 months. So it's like you cannot maintain such kind of size with the monthly deletion of the results.
Mhm.
It will take 2 or 3 days to delete the results. during that time, it's like you can have timeouts on the new post processing and etc. So it was really big. So it's like, and right now this database, even though grows for let's say the last 3 months, then it's like we are doing a backup only on this one, right? We are doing a backup only on MeasureDB. We don't do a backup on the raw database, because raw database we can recreate it with the starting of TDAP and migrating the ETL jobs, right? But it's like if we lose that one, it's a problem, and it's like for that one we have another backup job, right? This one.
So the measurement DB, is it just
It's
the CDR tables effectively?
yeah, or
What is it?
or the
What
custom
exactly
exports. Yeah, the custom exports. In the beginning, it's like there were no CDR tables. We started with so-called AH,
Yeah.
all type of CDRs. Then we had some for ASCOM, which were standard views that were used at least here in UK, and then it's like recently I moved to 3 UK just to identify like with the new schema what are the new database.
So okay, so the okay, so the 502 is the standard Tableau database, and there's a job on
standard TDAP database.
The 502 one, the TD 502.
Yeah, it's a standard TDAP, not tab.
Sorry, TDAP. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, so 502 is where the TDAP 502 is where the phone data gets uploaded to, and
Correct.
then is there a like a stored procedure on there that moves the data into the
yes,
into the summary database?
Yeah, so it's like you can come here, transaction, open, and you can see it's like 502 exec DBO, etc. Store procedure is moving for the IP file results.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like then for data.
Right.
Let's say it's exec 3 UK ASP update MD data.
Yeah.
And for the voice is the same. There is update voice, etc., etc. Right, so it's like their store procedures that rely on some views, right? But it's like more or less, it's like more or less it's like it is standard.
Is this documented somewhere?
No.
No.
It is.
Is it possible just to do that at some point? Just I know we're talking about it and recording it now, but this is the kind of the process of the files getting into TDAB and then moving to another server. It'd be useful if this could be just recorded in a document so that it's something that we can
the thing is like I can outline the store procedures, Adam, but it's like behind the store procedures we use views. And behind, for example, you can see it's like we use whatever view where data source name is higher than the last one, right? So it's like you're saying in the store procedure, give me the last max ID from the summary tables in the MeasureDB, and then we say insert into the MeasureDB whatever partition, because if you change it, for example, if you decide to change it next year because of something, right? So it's like this is how I started, right? So it's like if I have to recreate the TDAP database every 2 or 3 months, then it's like I was creating a new summary table in the MeasureDB database, and I was starting to populate that. Right, because it's like that recreating TDAP will start with the zero data source ID. From scratch, right? The thing is, we can outline them, but it's like what I also did. Let me see if it's here. Yeah, so what I also did is like I did the generate script export, right? Which is with all the customizations in terms of ETL in 502 database, right? So it's like everything that is AHA or 3UK or ASCOM 5G, etc. It's like they're all in the script. So it's like you can, once you create a standard TDAP database, you can just run that SQL script and it will create all the customization on top. Plus, it will be, let's say, 3K schema. Then it will be create view for streaming, etc. Data, and then it will be also create store procedures, right? Yeah. I think it will be long to document. I'm not sure really. It's like we can specify where it is and what it is.
I don't mean to document everything. What I mean is to say,
it's like, yes, it's like I can update the handover document and say whatever is the raw database in terms of TDAP, what is the main store procedures that I used, and what is the job that is doing is called to export the database. Yes, it's like
I don't need to know the detail of every store procedure.
Correct.
I just need to know like what are the steps that
correct.
Okay,
Yes.
what are the steps between the data going into TDAB and then how it gets reshaped to go into the Tableau part? Because we can't be left in a situation where some hop stops working and we don't know which part is failing.
Yes.
You know, we need to be able to kind of easily identify like, okay, this part's working, you know. So.
Yeah, sure.
But,
yeah, it's like I will do that. I will put it in the document.
Was there any problem like this in the past where some point some things stopped working in the stored procedure? Did that happen before any time?
The thing stopped working in the store procedure. No, because it's like, it's like, I mean, it's like, look, it's like when you're upgrading TDAP, for example, the next time, it's like I never upgrade just directly on the production system. It's like for example, what I do is like I create a new TDAP on our lab server, the new version, and then I took some of the TRP files from 3UK, let's say 2 hours from a previous day for 2 or 3 units, and I load them into the lab TDAP. And then it's like I compare if the results are working and if the store procedures are working and etc. So it's not, I never upgrade directly because sometimes it's like TDAP changes. Yeah, it's like indeed there was a problem. It's like at some point it's like because APN name, for example, for the data sessions, APN is not always recorded correctly into the MD data table. So it's like I did, for example, is it a function? I think a function in order to extract the APN, to try to extract correctly the APN from the, it's like I don't remember, network connectivity or whatever table, right? And it's like they changed the structure for these tables. So it's like after the upgrade of TDAP, I had to recreate the function in order to, they changed, they introduced an index table or something like this, right? So it was, it's like you need to verify that it will be working, but it's like normally you can do that. It's like just generating a script from the old database with the customization and then load it into the new database, right? So it should be straightforward. I think it's like here you come here. What is this? Tasks. Where is the generate script? Next, you're saying I want specific objects. Normally, it's like we don't have custom tables, right? It's like we say we want views and everything more or less that is not a standard TDAP. Like you can get this AHA, they're old for reference, but it's like, it's up to you if you want to load them or not, right? It's like right now we don't use any from AH. And so it's like you can say, I want them, then I want ASCOM, right? And then CDRs, you don't want CDRs. Yeah, you want services, you don't want stats, you want 3 UK. Right? That's why it's easier to have. And then store procedures the same based on the schema names. You're saying I want AHA, ASCOM, ASCOM 5G, and then 3 UK. Everything else it's part of the standard TDAP. And then yeah, store procedures similar. It's like you identify them based on the schema name. And then generate the script, load it into your new version of TDAP, and then yeah, it is possible that between the TDAP versions, some of the store procedures will change. But it's not something that I was facing a lot, right? It's like I face it probably once or twice. That's it. Having a column removed, and right now your function or store procedure is not working. Yeah, but it's more or less it's okay, but yeah, most of the time. But yeah, there can be exceptions.
Okay, so yeah, so I think we just need to be clear
of the flow.
Yeah, right. So we just need to know so the sense units loaded into TDAB, and then this store procedure runs and populates the the measurement database.
Yeah.
And yeah, so as long as that part is running, then we should be seeing data in the Tableau reports and the Grafana.
Correct. Yeah.
What about? So, is there any sort of maintenance things that have to be done manually? Then, you were showing those sort of PO1 and PO2 voice PO1, voice PO2 tables.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like these ones were done as a, let's say, P1, P2, etc. Because it's like when we are recreating the TDAP, for example, last year I recreated 3 times, and it's like we start with the raw TDAP data source ID 0, right? So it's like you have, I had to create a new table here. So it's like if you had to recreate completely TDAP, not just upgrade it, it's like you can say, I don't know, create new table, right? So you can say P3, right? And then it will be, you will have a new table, and then in the store procedure for voice export, you need to say, okay, start exporting into P3 from now on, because it's like it will be empty, right?
So you only did that if you had a problem, which meant that you had to rebuild the table. But
no, it's like we had to rebuild the TDAP.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like because it's like the TDAP was growing so fast, it was not, we are not able to maintain it. So it's like every 3 months, for example, I was rebuilding it from scratch. I was starting a new TDAP version, or same version, but just different database. And once the new database is running for a few days, I was deleting the old, like 800 gigs of data. Right, but right now we don't run, we don't have so many customizations, so we don't expect physical LT throughput, physical NR throughput, 3G and etc. Right, so it's like that's why the database, even though it grows, it's not growing so fast. And it's like we went to the last month or two, we went through discussion with R&D about running the data management. And right now the database is size it's good, right? So like we have a lot of free space, right? So it's like it's not it's being maintained, right? So it's like still have last week, for example, was I don't know, 900 gigs, and then it's like we start deleting, and by mistake it deleted more than it's needed. But because it's a raw database, we didn't lose the summary data in the measure DB.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, it's like I will make a list of the store procedures and flow that is being used, and if you want to recreate, and then it's like in TDAP we don't use the tables directly, we use the views. So it's like if we go to 3UK voice, right, this is a union of the voice tables that you want. Then it's like you can drop some, right? So it's like, for example, you can see this is commented. So we are saying create view voice, 3UK voice, and it's like we had okay, first 2020 P1 the table, and then it's like we are not using that anymore, right? So it's like you can still have it as a archive but not present it to Tableau. P2 we are not using it from 2020, and then it's like we have views for example for 2020 P3, whatever is, I think maybe it's from the summer or from October or something like this. We need to check if it's really necessary, and we start joining it. So also in this way, if you are recreating the database or you're adding new columns, so it's like you can add the new columns only in the new database. Like for example, in the 2020 P3, we have this unsustainable column, right? And if we go to the previous one, okay, we have it here as well in that view. But initially we didn't have that column. But it's like you cannot do union on a tables which with a different number of columns, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can say at some point if you introduce a new column, right, on the in the new table that you will create for summary, then at the end you can say for the previous two tables you don't need to update the table itself. You can just put some dummy value in the view for that select.
Yeah, you can leave it blank, or it doesn't have to be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like I will put some section in the document in this one.
Okay, great. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, so what was okay? So this is in terms of database, right? Database, TDAP, etc. So let's go to Fleet a little bit and just talk about what we have and why we have so many units that are unavailable. It's like you can change it. For me, it was good to keep them as a reference. So it's like this 3UK project started with units which are 100 something, let's call it like this. 100 units, they were placed in the retail stores, in 3UK retail stores. This project is not in production anymore. They stopped it last year. So it's like the most of the units are offline. They disabled the SIMs or unprovisioned the SIMs from 3UK side. The units are still in the retail stores. It's like at some point you may decide to start discussion. Yeah, start discussion with Graham to collect them. So it's like we have an inventory file for them. The first one, retail stores, it's like we have the names, we have the contacts, etc., etc. Normally, all the communication is done through tree with the retail store. So if we agree, it will be more or less you are syncing with Graham, and Graham will handle the further on the discussion. It's like the units are tagged with the location tag, like Birmingham, Bullring, etc., etc. That's why I keep them still in Fleet, even though they're inactive, right? At some point, we have 200 or 201 units that were S8 units, Samsung S8. and we replaced them recently. They were from engineering units, right? They were in their main office in 3UK. Recently, we moved to S20 units, and S20 units are everything 3UK sends to 2 to 3, and as of yesterday to 4. All these units, why they are 2, it or in 200 range, it's at least as I'm naming them, it's they're all engineering, right? So it's like for me it was retail store was a 100, engineering was 200, and at some point we had also 400, which was not engineering, but there are 5G units around the country. And before 400, we had the temporary 5G solution, which was Thames Pocket, actually Thames Pocket Remote, not Thames Sense, but still we managed to put it in a box. And at that time, I named them 300 something, right? So it's like I was just playing with the hundreds. 100 for this project, 200 for this project, 300, whatever for this, 400 for that. But right now it's everything is in a 200 range in terms of units, right? And they all have a location tag. It is a something historical that we started with from the retail store, like identifying units not as agent name but as a location, and that's why it continues, but it's more or less a name of the unit location. So, and right now they have engineering 01 up to engineering 21. Okay, so here we are presenting only the one from, yeah, it's like I will update this document. Let me see where is my latest, where is this one saved? Save as 3UK presentation. Okay. So here it is, right? So let me update that document with the latest one.
So just in case if they bring new devices
Yeah.
for the same regions, we'll use the same naming what you've already defined. It's just that it will be a new handset, right?
You mean, yeah, it's like, for example, when we're upgrading S8 units to S20 plus, it's like okay, it's like in the fleet, it's like the name of fleet that I was identifying, it's different. So it's like I was 201, etc., etc. But this 201 unit was engineering unit 1. So it's like we kept the tax. So it's like right now we kept the tax in terms of location tag. But it's like you can agree with them, right? If they're saying we want a new tag or just to scrap the old one, etc., it's up to
The
their
customer
requirements.
to decide, yeah.
Yes, it's up to their requirements. For the last swap that we did, it's like we kept the names, right?
Okay.
So it's like it was not okay. So if I open this one, which is the latest one for the unit, so it's like we have here it is all the units that we had. These are the last 5 units that we added yesterday, right? So important part is for 3UK, it's like all of them they have a custom APN.
Okay.
Right. Each in this case, they're saying these are engineering units, but it's like setting up a custom APN based on whatever requirements 3UK is having. They are saying we can simulate geographically distributed traffic. Right. So it's like it can be units like you're in London, you're in Manchester, you are in I don't know, Edinburgh, Birmingham, etc., right? So it's like they can simulate geographically distributed units.
So that APN is is like a region wise, or is like you said 100 for engineering handsets. It will be the same 200 for the different region.
No, it's yeah, it's like our naming in terms of the unit name is just for, it was just for me to identify in which project is that unit.
Okay.
And for example, different deliveries, S8, S20, etc., etc. But the
Okay.
APN is something that 3UK are requesting us to provision on each individual phone when we
First.
deliver it, right?
Okay, but the APNs don't have any requirement configured like in them. They all just common, but just the naming is different. So some.
Yeah, it's like 3UK will, for example, if you need to change the APN of particular unit, 3UK will say we want on Encho1 to run APN whatever name, right? It's like normally it's like they don't ask about that. They're giving us a name of the APN, and then we provision the phones. Like yesterday, we provisioned the phones, and that was okay.
And they're not using these handset for other operators, just only for the purpose of 3UK.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And it's like that's why they're engineering, right? So it's like they're deciding that these units will be doing engineering type of test. They can change the APN. So this is not the default 3UK subscriber experience, right? But eventually they monitor their backend nodes. That. Good. So yeah, in terms of scripting, yeah, it's like we can go again here. We have the schedule for the S20 units, for example, that we are running at the moment. It's all outlined here. This schedule for the S20 units, for the 5G units yesterday that I came is different. For the S20 units, the schedule is, we come back here. It is this folder, which is 3UK Eng S20 M2M APN. It's a little bit long. You can change it, and we split them into. We try to offset them on a different minute. For example, some are starting on minute 0 and 30. Some are starting on minute 2 and 32. Some are starting on minute 4 and 34, etc. At the moment, we are testing 3G versus 4G, 3G versus 4G. The new requirement that was just coming was to introduce 5G on all the units, and we introduce 5G license on all the units, and we will need to change the schedule eventually, right? However, the new schedule that we started with discussing is only for the 5 new units that we did yesterday with Adam.
Yeah.
Right? And eventually they are saying we don't want to run voice on all of the units, but just maybe on first 4 units. And yeah, it's like at some point they are saying they want to do 3G voice, but yesterday they said they don't want to do 3G voice. So it's like we can just copy this bit completely, and then
So these devices that they have, the probes basically are set up in different places like malls, offices, or some public
no, it's
location.
like no, they are set up only in their 3UK office in Reading at the moment.
Okay, okay.
They used to be in the shops.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they used to be in the shops, but that project, so-called internal project for this managed service, was discontinued last year, and the units that were in the shops were in the 3UK name 3UK Sense 100 something, right? It's
Yeah.
like
So most of those we've got back. There's just a few that are still in the shops that we are.
no, it's like all of them are in the shops.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, all of them are in there.
All of the retail units are still in the store.
Yes.
Okay. And are those phones owned by 3UK?
Sorry?
Those phones owned by 3UK, or
No,
are they
it's
out?
like everything is owned by us.
Okay, so there's a ton of phones which are set in retail units.
Correct. There are 20 units. There are 10 units with S8 phones that are sitting in their stores.
Okay, if they're only S8, then so they're not
Yes.
too worried about them, but
Yeah.
This
is the case.
And also the devices, is the remote access enabled on those devices?
3UK is like we used to have 2 SIMs on these devices, so we are doing SIM switch and we are testing 3 and one of their MVNO,
Mhm.
but it's like they discontinued the SIMs. Yeah, so it's like okay, all of the 3UK sense units, they don't use LAN as a backhaul, right?
Mhm.
3UK find it very difficult if they have to organize some equipment to connect to their LAN network.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why they're saying it's like we like TemSense because it can be deployed really fast and use only a mobile network, and we can source some SIMs, give you a SIMs, and that's it. Organizing a LAN access, it at least what Graham was saying, it will cost him almost as buying, let's say, the units from
Mhm.
us, because there is a lot of internal cost, work, procedures, etc., approvals that needs to happen, and it a lot of delays. And right now, when he buys 5 units, we are able to deliver them in a week time if we have all the SIM supplies, supply sending the units in timely manner, and etc. Yes,
the scheduled document that you showed, that was
correct.
from the Teams folder, right?
Correct. Yes, it's
3
like I'm
UK
uploading
sent
everything into Teams folder on them.
Yeah, 3 UK sent shoot as an APN. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like here, it's like it just. Yeah, this is just an example what we can do, right? And this is the actual test that we are running. And here is like simplified under data, 3G data or 4G data. It's actually all these activities that are happening, right?
3 UK sent shoot as an APN.
Yeah.
And is there like happen to be like a situation where any of the probe they stop communicating with the director? So
Yes.
will there be like an engineer from their office who will visit the site to check this?
Normally not an engineer, but it will be either Graham, either he will ask someone to go and check the unit in terms of uh, if the unit is powered, if the LEDs, what are the status of the LEDs. And there were, for example, I was having a video call, they were showing me the units. I was saying if the LEDs are there or not. So it's like I can show you the Tableau reports, for example. Recently, they were changing their DNS servers.
Mhm.
So it's like there was a lot of problem in terms of units, and they're changing DNS servers per APN, per gateway, right? So it's like we've seen units going offline. It's like, okay, I will talk about APN change, but it's like we've seen units, let's say last 30 days, right? And maybe we can decrease the scale. So it's like you can see, it's like we are saying the last 30 days, it's like you can see some units were constantly failing, right? And this was a DNS issue. It's like you can troubleshoot or see the errors, etc. This was the DNS issue. When it was failing, some of the units were not able to communicate with the okay, it's like when it's a DNS issue, the unit is still able to communicate with Fleet because we provision an IP address of Fleet there. However, there was some issues that APN was rejecting the connection. So for that one, it's possible that we will lose the unit, we will see it as offline, but eventually either we can ask to someone to check the units or it will become online again. But this is not a, yeah, this is not a major concern. It's like you see one unit is not available for a day, and you, if for example Graham is not asking you in 3 hours why it's not there, it's like it's better to wait for a day for the daily reboot of the unit to see if that unit will recover. And if it recovers, and it's like it's normally it will upload the log files that were generated during that time, then you can investigate and see what is the error. And 90% of the time it's a genuine failure, right?
What time does the daily reboot?
In the morning, like 5 or 6:30, something like this. So it's like it's not all the same on all units. I think on this one, 2 something, it's maybe it's all the same. Yeah, but on this one it's like maybe 6, just not to have them all at the same time going bananas, right? The thing is, don't enable the auto shutdown option. At least my experience is with the S20 units and the new Sense, auto shutdown option was poorly designed, or it's like I don't really understand it. So what's happening when you enable it? Before, it's like when you enable it, when you unplug the TEMS remote version 2 box from power, it will shut down the phone in particular number of minutes, seconds, whatever you configure, right? And also the battery level. However, right now it's like I've seen on the phones that they're losing a charging at some point for a second or two, and they start charging again. The problem with that is the Sense is canceling the running execution at the moment, right? So it's like I've seen that it's just canceling the work order that is executing. It's saying, oh, auto. It's like I lose the power, so I need to auto shut down. So I will cancel everything. 5 seconds later, the power is detected again, and it's saying, okay, it's like I will not restart. But your order was already canceled. So it's like I'm not sure why it's happening. I've seen it as of the latest, maybe 2 releases of Sense. Before that, it was working okay. Right, 2 or 3 releases of Sense. Before that, it was working okay. It's like that's why I stopped the auto shutdown. So right now, if you want to shut down the unit, or in order to recover it, if you're on site or someone else is on site, you can just say unplug the unit. The control unit in the TEMS remote will shut down immediately. Once you plug it, the control unit will start, will detect the phone that it's already running, and will say, okay, this is the proper state, I need to restart it myself, and it will restart the phone anyway. Right, so the recovery still works. The thing is, with this auto shutdown, I think something is strange with the last few releases. Maybe as version 5 or something like this. Yeah.
You're saying just keep it off.
Yes. Yes. It is my experience is all because when we deliver, like we did the swap for 8 units, at some point we don't have a consistent number of results every 15 minutes. I was seeing up and down, and I was just, it's like I was not sure why the unit was not running, and then I saw that it's canceling a work order. In fleet messages here, events, I was seeing there was some work orders being canceled 1 minute after their start or something like this, right? Yeah, but it's like more or less, it's like you can monitor the status, etc. Okay, in terms of schedules, Sense scripting is pretty straightforward. we have this engineering unit, we offset the units, and it's like we can go through one of the script. So it's like we have two Python scripts mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Currently there are three. Set APN and Android utils, they work together, right? Set APN is the one that is making sure that we own the correct APN. We have the XML file, which is the script itself, and we have IPI is a service.
But hang on, the folder you're showing is not a live one, right? I thought everything was in the engineering folder.
The new units. The new file.
Okay, sorry. Right.
And it's like in the engineering folder, will be. It's like my suggestion is to start using engineering folder or some other folder for the new schedules that you will do.
Okay.
Right. So it's like then it's like you will not be confused which is the folder because you will know because you will be working on it.
Okay.
Right? Because there is a lot of historical stuff,
Yeah.
right? We have a lot of historical. I don't want even to show you maybe how many work orders we had for retail units, right? It's like there's quite a lot.
Okay, so the current live folder is this one, right?
Yeah.
3 UK engineering S20 M2M.
Yes, APN, yeah.
APN.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and we are splitting them in order to offset, in order to not to overload all the units to start downloading HTTP download at the same time, and they're all in the same cell, right? So it's like we don't want to do that. Okay, so let's review one script, right, which is a M2N, and later on. So IP capture into a TRP file, log file recording, whatever is the activity. The next one is voice. Let's say we unset all, no control, wait,
Unset.
sync point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sync point. In terms of sync points, in order to have a kind of generic scripts, it's like I was using what was it? Symbolic name variable in sense unit. So it's like I was provisioning, let's say, if we're using 231 and 232 in pairs, then I was provisioning 231 underscore 232, and the name of the variable is sync ID in the phone. Right, then we have a sync point server port, etc.
Sorry, can I stop this? This is a sync ID is a symbolic name that is stored on the phone. So you've added sync ID as a value on the okay.
Correct. Let me open our lab fleet so we can access remotely the
Yeah.
So the sync point is installed on the same server where you have the
in the
fleet.
fleet server. Yeah, it is. What is this? What is this madness? Yeah, I had to restart the. This is our lab fleet, right? Okay, so if we say 2.3. Yeah, so it's like we can see here, it's like symbolic names, go down. We have a sync ID. 231, 232.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. It's like this is what we use in order to have more unique scripts, right? That's why we are saying it's like we want to Yeah, sync point, just to be unique. So V for voice, we do AQM, Polka, etc. with the parameter. I will show you this parameter later on. Similar starting log file, sync point, same sync point, just S in the beginning, right? And then it's like we use also parameter for the terminating SMS number, which is the same, but just I kept them separate if we need to do something else. And then it's like we start, let's say 4G data. This is the right. It's like this is not this schedule, right? This is this schedule that is happening, right? Which we need to maybe decrease and use it only for some of the units. Then we say 4G data, ratlog, depending what is the script, let's say 4G, and then we do set APN script, which will
for data.
Which will do set APN. It's a Python script which is just more reliable in terms of I got it from the US team in terms of setting the APN. So it's like what we have on each unit, we have configured a new APN name which is called custom, right? So we have the default one for 3UK, but we have a new one which is called custom, and there is a internal command that you can run, and it's being run through a Python scripting to set the APN name as a custom one, and the custom one is the one that is provisioned on the unit, and it's the one that is provided by 3UK, right?
So is the Python script stored anywhere that we can access?
Yeah, it's on Fleet.
Of course, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like you can download it from here or from here directly.
Files,
Yeah.
UAV.
Yeah, it's like I know US are using PyC, but it's like we're not using compiled version here, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's like this is about the
Can you
APN.
go back to that Python script?
Sure. It is all from US. I disable everything else, and I left only set APN.
Comment out most of the things, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they have suppress, do not disturb, check rotation, check etc. It's like we don't need that. All that. And I have listed it.
Yeah. Just explain how the custom command is pushed through.
Yeah, it's like you're locally, like you're on a ADB shell in the Python module that is coming with the sense scripting or pocket scripting. It's having access to the local shell through a shell command kind of functionality, and then it's like you have. It's more or less like you are running locally on the phone and broadcast. So you are not running ADB shell and broadcast message, but you are doing ADB shell. You are connected to the prompt of the bash of the phone of the Android, and then you are running a local command which is and broadcast. And it's like all the rest of the command is something that R&D was providing to US team, because this is using a TEMS control function module in order to set the preferred APN, etc., right? And it's like here, it's like I just changed the name to custom, right? So it's like on all the phones, we have a new APN which is called custom, but the actual name of the APN is from here.
Okay, so on the phone, there is an APN setting that is like labeled custom.
Correct. Yeah, let me show you. Right.
But it's the value of the custom
Correct.
is hard coded to, like, each phone has a different hard coded value that's okay.
So here, you can actually provision it even remotely, right? So access point names, you have this. These are coming from both of them are coming as from a default sim, and then I created this one. I called it custom.
Yeah.
Right. But if you open it, the APN name after that is the one that it's unique. However, it's like when you're using Temps tool in order to set up the APN, preferred APN, you're giving the name, the short name that you gave it, right? That's why I said all the units will have a short name custom, but the actual APN will be unique. And then we can have a same Python script, right?
Can you just put it on? Can you just put it on the screen again for me, just so I can catch that quickly?
Which one?
Just show the APNs on the screen again.
These ones.
Yeah, no, we had it on the phone. Where you had it on the phone, you were just showing the APN, the customer APN. I just wanted to capture like just to show what it looks like on there.
Oh, sorry. It's like we're in the
Nice.
call.
Cool.
Yeah. So can you see that?
Fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it just APN on them.
Yeah, fine.
Just adding APN.
I was just
Yeah,
fine.
the first line on that one you do custom. After that, whatever it's the actual name of the APN.
You can't parameterize that. You can pass through the APN from Fleet.
No, it's like in Sense Python scripting, you cannot pass parameters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I decided it's like if we are able to pass parameters, we can have for each client a parameter called APN, and we can say that will be unique. However, it's much better without the parameters to have a common name, but at the end different APN your what is it FQDNs, right? Good. So that is for that part, right? So the other thing as a custom bit is like we have IPFI. IPFI is a service that they wanted to understand what is their public IP address, right? So it's like if when you're in a private network, let's say IPv4, you're getting from a private subnets like 10, 172, 192, etc. Right? However, the public one is different, and the only way to get it is to have some service outside, which will tell you what is your public IP address, and then you can do a mapping, right? So it's like that's why we started this so-called. I chose to do it with the IPFI site because they are providing like a good service, simple. You can be JSON. It's a JSON type of thing, so it's like it will return like a JSON. Right, so it returns a JSON response, and we had some mappings that were provided by 3UK, right? So it's like they were saying, so it's like I did this Python script, very simple. It's we're saying use whatever URL or this is the JSON, etc., etc. Use some header so the site doesn't detect you that you are a bot, and it's like we use a requests command. So in that request module from Python, so in that logic, in that Python script, what I'm doing, I'm getting the local IP name from a shell command. Subprocess is just a shell command. IP address show RM0, etc., etc., and it gives you something, some regex, etc., and it will give you some IP version, local IP net mask, right? This is what it returns, and then it's like, yeah, we are checking device model because if it's S20, it's different than S8, etc., etc. So it was important at some point. And I think in the beginning, it's like what I did is I was checking if it's on airplane mode, because if it's in airplane mode, there will be no IP, just not executing any type of the logic, etc., etc. Right? So it's like, and yeah, if it's an airplane mode, it's like I kind of forgot. It's like if you're checking if it's airplane mode differently on the S8 versus S20, right? That's why I did some logic in the beginning to skip it. But the important part is if it's IPv4, you're doing a request to IPi5 service and you're waiting for response, and then you are stripping and you are getting the public IP, etc., etc. However, if it's IPv6, then it's like there is no translation, there is no gateway. It's like the outside world sees your unique IPv6 IP, right? That's why if it's IPv6, we don't do requests. We do it only for IPv4. And then once
so IPv4 sends the request to the gateway and waits for the response.
it sends a request to this site, to this service, right? So it's like to this one.
Yeah.
And waits for response.
Yeah.
However, if it's IPv6,
and then unpacks, and so the response has the IP address in and unpacks the
correct.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it gets the IP and then it's passing it to a function IP to gateway. So it's like IP to gateway. It's searching in that mapping list.
Okay, so the gateways are 3UK listed further up in the script.
Correct. So it's like if 3UK comes and say, oh, we have a new gateway and the IP will be etc. So it's like we need to update this file and introduce a new one or update it, right? So it's like right now it's like we have a gateway name as a key. It's a JSON object, right? Oh, what is it? It's a dictionary object. So it's a dictionary, and it's like we have some regex for like starting with whatever string. And here it's like, right, it's more complex for IPv4, right, than IPv6. IPv6 is like there, if it starts with whatever, it's whatever gateway. However, here it's like you have the same subnet, but then it's like you can have the third octet is whatever, right? So it was more difficult. That's why we did the regex type of thing. And then it's like you have just match IP to gateway, and the IP is coming from this one, right? External IP from the response, or if it's IPv6, it's like the local IP. You match the local IP. You are passing the local IP to gateway function, and then it's like it's just iterating. It's looking into the dictionary object, and then array, which is a regular expression type of search,
but
right?
what is this test fetching basically when it is doing this?
Sorry?
But what is it fetching from this test?
The external IP address. So it's saying
first the external IP address. Second, we are mapping the gateway name to the external IP address. These are the two things that are important, right? Because it's like I will show you in the where is it? So it's like if we come back here and it's like we go, let's say, to Grafana, our internal one, but after that we'll go to Tableau, right? So it's like the results that are coming, it's like they can come on like a unit name, right? So it's like we can say let's enable everything. And is it working? Okay, so it's like let's do like, okay, it's up and down. Okay, this is because we have 5G, right? But if we say we want only, let's say, the first three, right? So it's like we can see it's like we have eng names, but it's like this is the unit name, right? The sense unit name that they see. But it's like that's not really representative, right? But if we go to, let's say, a view of IP gateways, it's like you can see actually which gateway was handling what traffic and what are the throughput levels through the gateway.
Okay.
Right. So without having a way to map, let's say the traffic or the APN or the external gateway to the name, you will not be able to produce that. I mean, it's like because we started with IPv4 and then we definitely needed to do the query to outside world like IPv5 service in order to get what is the public IP. Then we had to create such kind of script. With IPv6, I would say it's more simple because your IP identifies through which gateway you are. So it's becoming simple, and maybe in the future you will not need it. But in the moment that you have IPv4 addresses still assigned to the units, they're from a private network, and it's like you eventually will have to do it. So it's like let's look in one TRP file now, right?
What dictates whether you're on IPv4 or IPv6?
Sorry?
How does it decide which is on IPv4 and IPv6? Do certain APNs do IPv4 and certain?
It's like at least for 3UK, I've seen 3G unit, 3G when we are doing cratlog to 3G, you're using a 3G data, right, through the PDP establishment through SGSNs and GGSNs, etc. Then it's giving you IPv4 address. IPv6 is given by, I would say, most of the APNs, but I think I notice for example, in Guildford office, if I'm running a test, I can see that cell, it's connecting us to some gateway that is giving IPv4 even for LTE.
Okay, so generally it's 3G would be IPv4 and everything else is IPv6, but there are times where IPv4 is given for LTE as well in certain locations.
Yeah. Okay, so let me open the TRP and I will show you what we present in that one, right? But okay, important bit it's we run that script, right? We run that script in order to collect some information. I will show you which one. Where is this information stored? It is like this. In the routed up database, yeah, it's like there is a table called dynamic. Yeah, if you write whatever custom script, it will load it there. So it's like it will be either speed test, if it's Python, etc., etc. It's dynamic APIs, right? And you will have it like this: the string name that you done, the value, the transaction, and the others are more or less straightforward. Yeah, it's like there is a floating point, etc., etc. But let me process that one. And then it's like what we do with this one.
So sorry, the dynamic API table that's a standard TDAP table, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So it will be populated with whatever you decide to report through a Python scripting. Okay. Taking TDAP with one of the data files, it looks like this, right? So the first one, I will just open it. It is simple. It is from the test script is set APN. Set APN doesn't report anything, right? However, then it's like we start our second one, which is IPv5, right? So the second one is just happen here, IPv5, right? Script. And then it's like at the end of the script, it reports these values. Outcome, diagnostic, IP version, local IP, net mask, external IP. We don't report external IP when IPv6 is, etc. And then a gateway name.
So the string value for IPv4, you'll get the IP address basically. When it is IPv6, you just get the gateway because it is fetching from that list.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Because it's like if you own IPv6 address, at least this is what I found out. It's like 3UK network is not doing any kind of nothing, etc. So it's like the IPv5 service is seeing your actual IP address.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like this is what we report from this IPv5. All right. The name, etc. Then that one is available in the dynamic KPI table.
So the stored procedure from TDAB is copying the data directly from the TDAB table to the measurement table.
We are transforming it. So it's like, as you can see, it's like we have one data source ID, which is reporting multiple lines for each string that we report, right? However, it's like when we are transforming it, we have one line with the column names.
Pick out the good bit.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So keep the table size down and just keep the bit you need when you transfer.
Yeah. So it's like, but on top of that, it's like on some of the, for example, this is the last one, right? So it's like if we come here, it's like you can see it's like data source ID 1, and it's like we are reporting stops, stop, etc., and everything is in one line for one data source, right? Yeah. However, lately it's like we are still running them and we are still exporting them into separate tables. So if you want to join with other data, you can do that. However, with the last change for MD data export, I included the gateway name directly into the summary table for MD data. Right. So at the end of the somewhere here we have a local IP, gateway name, and etc. Right. So it's directly into the data table. Yeah.
So this current table that you're showing, it's you've created the custom database for this, and custom view basically. So that's probably the floating point that you require. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I called it in this KPI database MD data underscore etc. and the view for that is MD data 20 MD data only, right? 3uk.md data, just to have a reference where the data is coming from, and it's like it's enriched directly with the gateway, so we don't need to look into two tables anymore and join them and etc. It's like in the past when we had the ASCOM and especially on the whole results, which were more complex in terms of they are not based on the standard CDR tables or MD tables. It's like it was more difficult to introduce directly there. That's why we had it like a separate export, and I still keep it separate export because it might be useful, and it's very fast as well. Okay. Yes. Okay. Important part is like if you want to identify to have this gateway name for all the data tests, it's like what we do is like we do log file recording for data which is common for all HTTP upload, download, web page visit, ping, and YouTube. All data are in the same log file, and in the beginning of the test, we do IP5 script. Then what is happening? It's like you will have same data source ID, just different sessions for different tests. And when you are joining, when you want to fetch which is the gateway name for that test, you can uniquely identify it only by the data source ID. Right? If you split every test to be in its own log file, then you will have different data source IDs, and then you will have a problem. at some point we started like this, and it's like before every data test, I was running IPv5 test in order to be able to correlate which test was mapping which IPv5 executions, right? And then it's like we had 5 or 6 or 8 IPv5 test in 15 minutes, which is kind of overkill, right? And at some point, a few months ago, or I don't remember how long, I decided let's merge all the data tests in one single log file and have only one IPv5 test. And it's like it gives, yes, it gives other benefits in terms of you have a longer radio recording, right? You have when you do set control function or technology, it's like you have regardless which test you will be looking, is it download, is it web page visit, is it ping, is it YouTube? When you download the log file, you can see actually how the bearer or the PDN was established, how the IP connectivity was established. So when it was requested, when it was activated, and etc., right? So it was their benefits in having them all together. Of course, you need to be mindful of the size of the TRP, right? So it's like if you have huge tests downloading for 25 seconds on 5G, maybe it will grow more than you want to. But yeah, it's a thing. Okay, should we? Okay, and then the rest of the test is, let's say, download for 7 seconds, upload for 7 seconds. These 3 UK sites, they're actually web pages that were created by their DNS records created by 3 UK in their DNS servers with a different time to live, and they're pointing some website that 3 UK decided, but it's like it doesn't. Mainly on them, we are not measuring website response time, but we are measuring DNS resolution time.
Okay, so it looks up that address for, but so the DNS request happens as a part of that.
Yes,
part of HTTP
correct.
request, right? And
yeah,
then,
it's a HTTP request get. Yeah, so it's like what is happening is like if we want to get a for 03 UK, right? This is what they provision, right? Okay, we need with 03 UK, it's like we have time to live 0, right? With the 2D,
okay,
like we have time to live 2 days. It's like
so,
this.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of why we have these as well, these are also provisioned with the IPv6 entry.
So what does time to live refer to? That how long it's active in the cache for?
Correct, in the DNS cache, yes.
So I can't understand why have. So are you just checking that for the 2D one that it's always 172796 or something?
What?
What's the sorry? So what 172796 is where you've got the answer section.
Yeah.
So the top it says 2db.3.co.uk, then it says 172796. That's seconds, is it, or milliseconds or something?
Yeah, seconds, I would say. Yeah.
So why do they want to check the DNS response time for those server? What's the point in doing that?
Yeah, it's like they want to say not about the it's like they want to say to check if the cached DNS records are faster than not cached.
Okay. So you're comparing 0dB versus 2dB, right? That's basically, or something like that. You're checking the response time for the 2 different requests.
Yes.
Yeah, and so there's, I guess there's some reports where it will show them side
Yeah,
by
it's
side.
like on the reports we are saying based on the website, which is 03 UK or 2D3 UK, and based on that they know it's like, okay, this is a with the time to live 2 days, this is with the time to live 0, right? And it's like you can see the response time, DNS response time, based on what site we are visiting or what site we are querying for DNS.
Mm-hmm. So,
Right?
so zero is 0 days time to live. So is
Yes.
does that mean uncached?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then 2 days is obviously cached for 2 days.
Correct. Yeah. And it's like for the B versions, so it's like we have 0B and 2DB. It's like these sites, they are provisioned with both IPv6 and IPv4 DNS records, right? So it's like what is happening, it is following, right? It's like we can discuss it in the report section, but yeah, so it's like what is happening is like if you have, right, so let's say if you have IPv4 local IP on our units, right? Local IP, and if you query, you will do DNS query only on IPv4 A record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then it's like all these 4 sites or 4 names, they have a record, IPv4 record, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of them, they have IPv4. So it is DNS type is, let's say, IPv4, right? IPv4 only.
Mm-hmm.
However, if your local IP is IPv6, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you query, so let me do it like this, 0, 3, 2D, 3, and then it's like 0B3, and then 2DB3, right? So it's like here, it's like you have DNS A record, and here you have DNS A and AAA, and here DNS A and AAA. Okay, right? So here, if your local IP is IPv6, and then you query a site which is 0, 3, or 2D3, it's with DNS A record only. So actually, it is happening DNS 64 nothing, right? So it's like from your IPv6 address, you are saying, give me a site, or I want a resolution for the site which is on IPv4 only. So it's like you have 6 to 4 nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have IPv6 local,
Mm-hmm.
but you query, let's say 2B or 2DB, which are with DNS A and AAA, AAA is more important, then you are querying IPv6 to IPv6 address, right?
What's DNS AAAA? What's that?
IPv6 entry.
Okay, so DNS A is IPv4 and DNS AA
Yeah,
is
it is,
IPv4.
right? Yeah. A record is IPv4, AAA is IPv6 entry. Right? So it's like if we look right now, let's say for 0 site, there is no IPv6 entry. If you are looking for 0B site, there is IPv6 entry in their DNS, right? So it's like in that case, you have DNS IPv6 native, right? Because the client is IPv6 and the client is doing DNS for the IPv6 address first, and it will get an IPv6 answer because it's provisioned in DNS. However, if there is no IPv6 record in the DNS, it's DNS 64.
Okay, not B. Okay, so the B variants are for IPv6 basically. Or they're there for. Well, they support both. Is what you're saying. They do both versions. So 0B.3 and 2DB.3 do DNS for IPv4 and IPv6.
Correct.
But the initial ones only do IPv4.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, for these initial ones, they're only IPv4, so you can measure this type of scenario. Device with the IPv6 address, but looking for a site which is only IPv4 supported. Like some of the sites, they are not enabled for IPv6, right?
IPv4 local equals DNS query only IPv4.
You said the DNS cache remains for the number of days that you specified there, but why are we going for this number of days?
This was the customer request. It's like
Requirement?
they wanted to compare what is if the caching improves the response time on their DNS servers. It's
Okay.
not, it's a network thing. It's not a client thing. It's like at the end of the sequence when we do, because we do rat locking in the moment that you change IP address on the phone through the establishing new connectivity, new IP assigned to the phone, it's like the phone DNS is flushed, right? So you don't have,
Change.
yeah. So it's like it's not about the units, it's about the DNS servers. What is their response time if the records are cached or not cached?
So, but does this help to reach to that particular DNS? Is it like forcing from the script to get inside that specific DNS? Or it's just picking up random?
No, it's like the DNS that the units are working, using, it's the one that it's provisioned from
Okay, got
attaching
it.
to the network. It's like
Got it.
they are random.
Got it. I understood from main purpose starts from that APN itself. The APN itself, what they are doing, they have their own network configuration there. Then
Yeah,
they have those DNS defined there, and then
correct.
okay,
Correct. It's like, yeah, it's like they don't have so many different DNSs. It's like they have probably, I don't know, 5 or 6, and it's like they are assigned to the clients through activating IP bearer.
okay, okay. The main purpose is for us is to just understand this concept, but
Yeah.
we are not digging deep into these things because it's something that customer will verify from their end if these things are not good. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Good.
Okay, yes, that's a good point. So actually, we just need to understand that the reason that those tests are there is to fill the database.
Results.
To fill the database with data that's going to be meaningful to the customer.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So from all this, what I see, most of the times I think the customer will come back changing the APNs most of the time.
No, it's like we didn't get that request. It's like once we set up the units, it's like I don't remember if they ask us at all to change the APNs.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, it's like they might ask you, but it's like it's not a major.
Okay.
So it's like more or less, it's like you need to make sure that the system is working and producing results.
So if we did have to change the APN, then we'd have to go onto the phone and change it.
Yes, it's like I would say disable the work order, remove to the phone, make sure that you on the default APN, you select 3 if it's not already selected. And then it's like you can actually remotely configure new APN.
Okay.
And then through the Python script, you can actually force it just before the work order execution, or just before data test execution, right? You can start log file recording, etc., etc. Run the Python script for set APN with the name that you gave to the APN, and it will start using that APN.
Irrespective, just like saying, maybe the work order XYZ has another APN. I created a new work order and I have new Python script with the new APN, and I send this work order, it will force there that Python script, its job is to
Yes,
go and change
the
it.
thing, yeah, correct. It's like you can provision multiple APNs on the unit if you want, or if the customer requests, and then it's like you can change them on the same unit through, let's say, through Python script, through two different Python scripts.
So you could create custom to APN and then push out the custom to
Correct.
APN script,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, it's like just creating the APN in the phone is manual operation. Okay, should we? Yeah, one thing just to mention. Parameters. We saw the parameters in the scripts for M2M calls, which is the terminating party and which is the for the SMS. They are parameters not in the work order level, they're on the client level. So it's like you can see it's like empty MSISDN. Yeah, it's having the value for the on 221 we are having the value of the 222 phone, right?
What is it? 222? Okay, that's the number for the device. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. So it's like,
Got it.
and then it's like you can have a generic script, right? Generic script with the parameters and etc. And it's like, yeah, it's like they were set up, yeah, on most of the units, so you can detect which unit is doing calls with which one. They're in order.
So these are the B party numbers that specified.
Correct. B party numbers, yeah. B party number. Empty.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it. So should we focus on Tableau now? Okay, in Tableau, 3UK they bought
What's NRE? Just out of interest.
Yeah, it's like their new team. Their new team that they're monitoring, and they requested one workbook and one dashboard.
Is that Mandy?
No, it's another team.
Okay.
So it's like what we have for them is like they bought 6 Tableau users, and we created up to now 3 users for them. 3 Nokia, 3 NRE, right? So it's like in terms of what they have access to, it's like there's a lot of history, but it's like they have access to production, engineering, and NRE folder, right? So it's like there's some permissions that are set up on a folder level. Yeah, it's like you can see who is having access to watch and publish and etc., right? So it's like if we go, I don't know, into retail stores, maybe we remove the permissions for them to access it. So 3 Nokia NRE don't have permissions to view that folder. Yeah. So for them, the important folders, it's like I will make a list. 3 NRE account is able to access engineering and NRE, and yeah, it's okay. I will make a list. But yeah, the most important is engineering. There is an overview, data, voice. These are workbooks, right? So it's like if we open Tableau now, we need to introduce the new changes that we did yesterday with you, Adam, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we need to do the split in order to get the acceptance, to ask for acceptance today. So let me start. Okay, so what I can do, it's like just connect to another site. And again, the credentials for Tableau server are Handover document, Tableau server, right? So it's like Bruce, this is Bruce account. I don't have account there. And we can say we want 3 site. Some error. What happened, Tableau? Sign in. Can I sign in? Yes, infovistareports.com. Oops. Site is 3. And then I can say open workbook, and I can say order by projects, and then I can go to production, engineering, get that one. Okay. It's downloaded, and it's like this password. I think it's a standard SQL password, MO whatever. Let me see if we have that one. Dash. Dash. It's not dash monitor. It's a dash. We have dash. Okay, it's like it's a dash password is the standard. It's similar as a SA password, to be honest.
Do you know that one? Yeah. Yeah. Do you know that? Do you know that one? The Moxamed password, what it was called? Oh, yeah, is he there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Okay. So Nikolai's saying about the standard what did you say, Nikolai? The standard
Yeah, it's
password.
this
I mean, does he know what that is? Yeah. Oh, okay, that one. Yeah.
It's it's like I can update like 3. You can sense my what is this? Dash monitor. Any service production use 3x reports. Yeah, maybe this is some historical type of information, but yeah, I can add a dash
Another dash user.
Read only user.
Okay, so it's okay. So it's a read any site.
Yeah, read only or reader or something like this.
Yeah, we can stick to the other one. SA user than this. Sometimes, I mean, we use these users with probably if you're changing that measurement database, if I try to use these users, we'll run across problems, and so we stick to one. Most of the time, SA should be helpful.
Is this auto save? Status do not disturb. Status.
I think and if you don't see the save, then it should be auto save order as well.
Okay. Yeah, we are here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's like the other thing, it's, let me, kind of tricky. Because it's like we don't want, okay, so it's like when I'm modifying the Tableau reports, right? I'm working with, let's try to see. So it's like when we publish the reports, at the end, when we publish them, I come here and change the IP address of the DNS to be the local IP. Because if we keep it to be this one, when the Tableau queries the database, it will use the the public IP, elastic IP from the server,
Mhm.
and then it's like your traffic will be counted in terms of the cost of the service. But because they're in the same zone, if you're using the local IPs, the traffic will not be counted.
Yeah, we're paying for that.
Correct. Yes, but in order to change them and to modify them, it's like we actually need to use the external IP. So it's like, okay, what do we need to do now? It's like we are using MD data, right?
Sorry, was the internal one listed in the document? The internal IP.
Right. Internal. I am Bruce. Actions. Did connection. Okay. To call. Why I cannot list?
Sorry, I don't understand. In what situation can you use that? In what situation? So you're connected to so what? So you okay? So you're on your local machine.
Yeah, here
Right.
I'm on local machines, and in
So on
order
your
to
local
access the
machine,
SQL server,
yeah,
I
you
need to
open-
be allowed in the Amazon rules, security rules.
yeah,
But also, it's like when I publish to the Tableau server, I don't want that workbook to use the public IP of the SQL server. I used to use it internally, especially if you are running on extracts. Because if you're running on extracts every hour, every 4 hours, it will generate gigabits of traffic, and you don't want to pay for that traffic. It will be counted in Amazon costs as a, I don't know, external zone out traffic or etc. And it's like you don't want to pay for that traffic. Okay, so let's see. We have data, radio. Data radio bearer. Right? So it's like, can we change? Yeah, it's like here. It's like we have this type of aliases. Like you have a 5G, but you have some 3G, which are really tricky. So it's like I was thinking on this one to create a group. Can we create a group? Yeah, let's try create a group. And it's like we are saying. Add to group. Let's do 5G, and then group this one. Oh, what just happened? Where's the group?
You give a new name and then you select the ones in the groups there.
Okay, let's do group and we do 5G. Okay. And then it's
doing it under HSPA though. You don't need to.
3G. That one. Group. Forge. Okay. Good. And unknown. Unknown is maybe we can include other. Yeah, others unknown. Okay. Good. Apply. Right. So what we can do is like we can change our like location to group. Let's try this one. Why we have so many others? This just happening. some install. Okay. Eight. To 8. Okay, so it's like maybe some of them are just not saying. So it's like we can say filter out unknown, right? We don't want to see unknowns. All right. So this is failures, whatever. That if we don't have a traffic, we don't have a traffic. Okay. Browse time. We can do JSON group. Get rid of this one, and maybe here. Can we see how we are applying to worksheet? Boom, 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 boom. I think we are applying to all, right? So it's like we can do apply to worksheet. Looks like reasonable. Okay. Right. So it's like here, better, etc., etc. We have the names of the units. What is it? Load time. Obviously, on 5G, it's much faster.
Good.
Yeah. Then we added it here. Better technology. Yeah. At the end, we can decide if we want to include it or not. Okay. Group. Get rid of that one. 3G, 4G, 5G. DNS lookup time, kind of similar. IP setup. Good. Get rid of that one. 3G, 4G, 5G. Okay.
Faster.
LT service bearer. Let's try to do coloring on bearer. What is this count bearer? Do we have some table calculation here? Better technology. Yeah. Okay. So we need to get rid of that one. Oops. Let's see again, table calculation specific. Okay, so let's clear that one, get rid of that one, add this one here, and then we can say what was it? Count. Get rid of that. Do we have number of records here? Yeah, 1. So it's like we can do. Okay, let's do it like this. Count, and then we can say quick percentage of total. This was done. Did calculation, and we want specific on this one. Does it make sense? Kind of, right?
Yeah, it's a bit low for 5G, but I suppose it's
It's like normally it should be 30% of everything.
Yeah.
It seems that we are not getting 5G all the time. The units. The only thing that we might want to preserve is, let's see how we get them. Maybe we should stick also to the results, right? So it's this view in terms of colors, right? So it's like we can say orange, blue, green, something like this, right? So it's like here we can say color, orange, blue. Let's try like this. Okay. Good. Seems okay. Browsing. Let's see how they changed. Orange, blue, green. 3G, 4G, 5G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Right, and then the only thing that we might want to add is analysis filter. This one here. So we are doing here. We are saying down. Let's say technology. We select all of them, and we say we don't want that filter anymore, right? And maybe we can say it like this, but is it only relevant? Huh? The thing is, I think we excluded that one. Engineering and it's 9. Let's see other group. Better technology is double with CDMA. You see, that is maybe here we classify some as others, but they are double with CDMA. So what's going on?
Can we select that other, just other, and see what's the data that's showing?
Here?
Yeah, on the filter here.
Yeah. Oh, you want just to see others?
Yeah.
Because this is a failure, right? So it's like when the group is.
Okay.
Yeah. So better technology is whatever, but the group is others, but we want to see also what is the data unknown.
Is it because that test was a failure?
Probably it was because the test was failure and that their better technology.
Yeah, it's data. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So okay, let me do something else then. Let me do something. Uh, other. Okay, should we try something else? Then let's do data. Say if data radio technology contains LT-NR, then else better technology. Let's see. What was it again? LT. Okay, so if we do rename data, data technology. Okay, so if we do here similar thing, boom, boom, and here we add data technology. Okay, okay. Alias. So change. Maybe here we can remove the alias, remove the alias. Okay, but here we can with the alias. Can do here 4G. Yeah. Good. So 3G, 4G, 5G, right? And data technology. Let's say good. Okay. So better technology. Okay, let's leave it right. So here it's like we have data technology. Data technology 3G. Don't want that. 3G, 4G, 5G. We don't want that one. This. Okay, and then IP setup. Don't want that one. This one here. This one here. And this one is clear. Get rid. Technology here. That one. And we want count percentage of total did specific data. Good. Hello? Are we still in a call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah.
Cool. So let's come back here. Let's get rid of that one and then analysis, filter, data technology, mixed. We have mixed. Introduce? No, we don't. Should we do only relevant? Yep, good. What do you think? Better?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So 3G, 4G, 5G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Good. Okay. Oops. Go on.
Is there a report that you're preparing from the Tableau? And the customer is using that?
Yeah, it's like this report is being used by customer. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a template that's being used for the same KPIs that's being displayed there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay. So it's like in terms of reporting, it's like it is something that can come as a request to update the reports, to add a new chart, new type of views, base dimension, etc., etc. Right? So it's like it is flexible. Right now, for this, what we are focusing at the moment is like we yesterday delivered 5 units with the 5G capabilities. We also uploaded 5G licenses to all the units, all the rest 16 units, but we started with the 5G test only on the new units yesterday.
So this is
And
year 17 to 21.
yes, in order to get the acceptance this week, actually today, tomorrow, or day after, we need to do the minimum requested, which is deliver physically 5G units, start the 5G testing, and update this data workbook to present 5G results as well. Right? This is the minimum in order to get the acceptance for the new 5G units, 5G licenses, etc. That's why I want to do it now with you guys. So we publish it at the end of the session. We send, okay, Graham, Mandy, can you please check it? Also, here is the attach acceptance document. Can you please sign it? Because yeah, account team wants to get the money, right? This is the goal at the moment. Okay, failures. Let's do technology. Data technology. But in the future, it's like, as we discussed, it's like there's a 5G needs to be introduced to other units. So it's like you can, I mean, Graham, Mandy, they can ask you, can you add different types of charts for 5G, etc., etc. But this is more custom work, right? Technology, 3G. We don't want that grouping. 3G, 4G, 5G failures. Okay, good. Oops. No. Load time. What is it? Data technology. Yeah. This is the thing, the minimum that we would like to do in order to get the acceptance. Okay. Data technology. Oops, no. Okay. So count based on technology. Just see what is it. Percentage of total again. So clear the count. Get rid of that one. Data technology will be the color. We'll get the count. We will say percentage of total. Enable specific data technology. Okay? Then we get rid of that column. And all service bearers, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is like an overview. For the colors here, I think we set up something else, right? 3G is orange, 4G is green. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like again DNS. This is DNS resolution time, better technology. We need tech. We are saying data technology is here. Get rid of that one, and data technology is here. And then it's like we want to get rid of that filter.
Number of records is the sum. Okay. Okay. You have all the three. Okay.
No, this is some of the records. So how many records were executed, etc., etc. So you can see it's like for the last 7 days, it's like 25,000 this HTTP browse, etc. And but for 5G, it's like 600 because of yesterday, very little number of units. Okay, so better technology, we need to split it like this. like this, get rid of the grouping and change the color. Good. Browsing. Let's see the browsing. Maybe this one. Can we maybe go there and then just hit on data technology? Just see how it's gonna look. Yeah, seems service bearer. What is the percentage used? Time, DNS lookup time, IP setup time, blah blah blah, and then here to select this one, filter data technology. Here, get rid of that one. Let's say only relevant values. We are good. Oops. Let me save it. Moving download failures, right? Download failures. Come here. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Okay. Download throughput. Get rid of that one. Maybe add the better technology here. Get rid of that one. 5G, 4G. Maybe like this. 4G, 5G. The view. Because if we have a technology here,
It's skewing the scales a bit, isn't it?
yeah,
Can't see anything for the other device.
yeah. It's at the end we will see it how it's in the dashboard as well because it will be important. Okay, let's get rid of that group and then data. Okay, so it's like we need to get rid of that one. Oops. First, you need to clear the calculation because it will add the calculated field. Better technology. Then you add the one count here and percentage of total. Did calculation specific that one. Good. And on average, yeah, this is DNS for the lookup, so it's like, yeah, we are repeating just for different type of tests, right? So it's nothing fancy. This is similar data here, here, and get rid of that one. 3G, 4G, 5G, and then the dashboard as such. Let's see how it's going to look like. So 3G, 4G, 5G. This is a little bit busy. But yeah, there's another one for throughput. So coming back here, filter, data technology, get here, clear, and then we can say only relevant, right? So it's like if there is no data failures, don't want that one, we don't want that one, 3G, 4G, 5G, color them correctly. This was another one. Do here like this, and data technology. Oh, yeah, I think I can get rid of that one. 3G, 4G, yeah, the throughput levels. Did we set it like we can do it like this? Like this, doesn't matter. It's a cosmetic thing, right? So it's like later on, if they say we want to see it something differently, then it is possible to do. Clear, read data. Percentage of total, data calculation, data technology. Okay. This one, get rid of this one. Technology, this one. This one. And this one. Okay, DNS, IP setup. Data technology is here. Get rid of that one. Technology is here. Get rid of that one. Good. And data technology. Oh, this is the legend, sorry. We need to add it as a filter. Right here. Okay. Yeah, starting the similar process for uploads. Get rid of that one, get rid of that one. 3G, 4G, 5G. Yeah, the scale is really off. Okay. So this one here, this one here, 3G, 4G, 5G. Upload this one. Yeah. Rid of the uptime. Okay. Actually, DNS lookup is not happening. Upload. Yeah. It's like the tricky thing with the upload is like we don't really get the DNS resolution time because we are using the same server as for download. So it's like the host name was already resolved in the previous test.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we don't really get the lookup time on that. IP service. Let's move. Upload KPIs. Yeah, it's good. Filter, data technology. All failures. Get rid of that one. That one. Good.
0.2.
All right. Set up the
We have another meeting probably like in the next 24 minutes.
Yeah, I can continue editing this one and I will publish it and yeah, we can synchronize after that if you want.
After that, this all hands meeting at 6:30.
Oh yeah, it's like that one for post, you mean?
Yeah, the post-lux TTAB dropped call.
Yeah. It's like he sent me an email yesterday that he will not be able to join and he wants to move it for 3 p.m. But I need to go to a dentist at 2 to 4. So let me.
Postpone that for tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like I will reply to all.
Okay.
Can I just change the? Yeah, I will ask him tomorrow 9 a.m.
So, +1.
Date. Tomorrow morning is 8:12. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So let's see what you're doing. Data transfer, moving average, hourly, location. Let's split it like this. Split it like this. Get rid of this. 4G, 5G, 5G. This is time transfer, right? So it's like this is expected. Here, then analysis, filter, data technology. Okay, scatter. Scatter. HT browse scatter. Data transfer time. Okay, this was for all HTTP browser. Okay. You can see this is about the gateway names, right? So it's like this is what I was talking about. It's like you can see gateway names now, not just
Yeah,
the
I think
engineering.
that filter we could have used it.
Yeah.
On.
So yeah. Gateway names, but 3G, 4G, 5G. Okay. Yeah, we have that one. Let's add the filter data techno. Oops. This one. Okay. If we do SCADA gateway 3, we don't want that one. And we want this one here. This one here. Okay. Oh, even we can move the URL, the pre-operator URL. URL is okay. Doesn't matter. This one is okay. Okay. Cool. So we fill the data there. So they can see which one are. On. Okay, so here you can see on the last 4 units, it's like we have 4G, 5G, and 3G. Good. It's all right. Okay, 3G, 4G, 5G. 5G, it's available on some of the gateways, which are some of the APNs. The 5 that we added yesterday. Here we can see the new units.
The 5 that you added yesterday, are they on gate? They're using APNs which were already being used by other units?
No, they're unique.
There's new, okay.
Right, so it's like these are the names of the APNs.
Okay.
So they were not used by other units.
Okay. So are there more APNs that they could provide later?
Yeah, you can see FBO1 CMG. It's like I don't know how it's organized, Adam. It's like is the 5G is if the 5G there's spreading it in terms of a data connectivity to different gateways. Maybe it is. Yes, I don't know.
Okay.
This is something internal and what they do. Scatter. It here. That one. Yes, this is the them and this is same but per gateway, not per unit. Well, same for upload. Same for upload and this one. Good. So it's like, yeah, it's like this is exactly what we are seeing before 1 year, last year when we are running 5G test. Actually, upload on 4G is better than upload on 5G.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I just joined. Adam, you also have worked on Tableau, or you don't have much experience?
Not a lot really. I mean, I can get around. Like I do, we do reports. We were doing these quarterly reports for O2, and you know, just involved updating the reports and that kind of thing. But I'm not that familiar with. Yeah, I need some time to get, you know, some experience really. But I mean, I've got experience in other reporting tools. Like I've used Grafana quite a bit more, and
Yeah, okay.
so I'm familiar with, yeah, the general concepts of doing reporting or that kind of thing, and I can you know, pick it up. It's just I haven't had that much experience to Tableau specifically.
Okay. So the 5 probes we already delivered to 3 UK?
Yes, it's like, yeah, it's like as, yeah, we discuss with, yeah, between us and with them, it's like we deliver the 5 units, we start 5G testing on these 5 units, and we update this report, this work package, workbook in Tableau, and we ask for acceptance.
Okay.
And it's like
Yeah,
the
okay.
rest of the
I don't know
schedule.
why Khalid was asking. So
Because it's like they have a deadline up to 10th of December in few days. So it's like we need to ask as soon as possible.
Okay. So whenever you think, I mean, it's completed, you can you share with them, or you want me to? Is there any meeting planned with them, or?
No, it's like I think it's like what we can do is like we can say, guys, we updated to Amanda and Graham, send the email, all of us in copy. We delivered the 5G units yesterday. Enabled the 5G testing on the new 5G units first, and we updated the reports in order to present 5G data. Can you please review and sign the acceptance? The rest of the changes about the schedules can be done later on. They shouldn't stop the acceptance. Yes. Because the acceptance is not about changing all their schedules. It's acceptance is about 5G at the moment. Yeah, and it's like we discussed it with them yesterday, and it's like they understand that the financial part needs to be it's because of the deadline of their procurement, our financial year, etc.
Do you think, Adam, or Nicola, it's a good idea that I send them, or because unfortunately I couldn't attend any of those meetings, and it doesn't sound good that I, out of the box,
No,
ask
it's
for the
like
expected.
it's like I can send it, or Adam, if you want, you can send it, and it's it is
fine. You send it. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, I will send it, and you will be in
Yeah,
copy,
just keep me in CC. Yeah.
Sure. I will add Khaled as well, so he gets the from the source.
Okay.
If you suggest to add him, if you
no need to add him.
Okay.
No, right now.
Okay, so we have okay. G45. It's like this view. It's right now. We have 5G for all of the units, but it's empty at the moment, so it's not really representative. But eventually, when we start running tests, it will be. So it's not a deal.
Sorry, just one more question I'm asking, Nikolai. So you would want your 9th as your last day and the rest of the days to be marked as the notice period on from your leave?
Oh yeah, whole day, yeah. The rest that left.
Okay. Okay, all right. I'll communicate that. Do we have any farewell party apart from this? Apart from this Christmas party?
Not really. It's like I actually will not visit the Christmas party because I'm traveling on Friday, and I just don't want to risk it with all this PCR testing and flights and etc. I just don't want to risk it. Maybe next year. It's like if you're coming to UK, it's like I will really happy to join for beer and meet somewhere outside.
I had planned in January, to be honest. In December wouldn't be possible.
But it's like I mean next year. It's like this year. It's like
so you'll be back, right? You'll
oh
be
yeah,
back.
it's like I will be back in UK in January.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, definitely. Then we'll have something arranged. It's sad that you are leaving, and but anyways, that's fine. Okay, guys, I'll leave you there. I have a few more things to do. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Get rid of that one. The counts are here. Okay, the data counts. You can see most of the time we just repeat the same logic that we had other workbooks. Failures. That one. Technology. Here. So change last 7 days. Failure. Show. Oh, there are no failure. Come, there are no failure. Okay, what is the difference? Date, location in daytime, true, test, etc. etc. Oh, we don't have dates, so it's like, why do we have this one here? Ah, we have it here as well. What is the filter? Oh, let's see this one. Filter. Okay, let's use. Good. Yeah, last 7 days. 3G, 4G. 1st of December, 3G, 4G, etc. As of yesterday, 5G. Right, and today there are no. I think there are no failures on 5G. That's why. Right, we did it. Everything. From just log files. Yeah, this is. I think this is the last one. So Vera Technologies here. We don't want that group. Okay, and we want G4G, 5G. I think that's all. Should we save and publish? So we under engineering data, we don't change anything in terms of how many views we have. So I don't know how many, 20 views. Let's see, data source, it's embedded, etc., etc. Okay. So this is, it's, yeah, full screen. Yeah, it's not presenting all the, so if we get rid of 3G, on the scale, we can see all of them. Yeah, and right now it's not giving us a name. It's trying to present all of them, but it's not giving us a value or name for all of them. Maybe we can think about that just to separate the technology, not to be on the column, but on the row level. Something like this, but yeah, let's not focus on that at the moment. This is overview. This should be okay. Download KPI should be okay. I think it's like they're using mainly, it's like, to be honest, if we come here, we can see it's like they're using, I think, mainly these two
Mhm.
and the first one. So it's like if we go here, right? So it's like we have some results. Yeah, 3G, 4G, 5G. Should we send the email?
Yeah. That's good, right? I mean, you got it's covering the technology now, right? It seems like it's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've got visibility of the technology now, right? So.
So the he's saying, thanks, we need to get it signed by 3. Okay. This one, okay. Cool. Did he update something? Certificate. I think this is the same, right? Okay, let's go with this one. Save us. Presentation for G units. Okay. So where's the last email from? I don't see you add to the schedule reports. Okay, let's follow on that. Yeah. Okay. Themes. Okay. We are 5G. Okay, so I will speed.
Shall I stop the recording? I think,
Yeah. Let's do that.